About to start the final quarter for the Australian Rollers. Everson 25 points, Norris 16 points for Brazil, Eric Silva 22 and Iria Nunes 15. And the setup in the start of the final quarters now, it was brought in internationally a few years ago. No such things now as jump balls and who does what. It's just you take it in turns, which annoys me, but still, I think if you have a crack and see what happens. But still, there's a few Australians making some noise in the crowd. Nunes, can he start in the last quarter by netting? He can!
He can, but that was great defence by Grant Meisels, who's a two-pointer and about 2 foot shorter.
7 the difference. And the Australian contingent here at the National Indoor Stadium find voice. Australia down by 7. King over the top. Sachs lets it go. What happened then? It cleared the lot. There must have been some pushing, or was there? No, there wasn't.
Nice. Kingy just let it go a bit more with a bit more energy than he needed to. But anyway, that's basketball. And the Great Britain team looking on.
Yes, they were beaten. Oh, of course they will. They'll play in the men's and the women's competitions, and we'll just have to see how they go. But the Australians, here's a tidy. He tried. No. Off the glass, didn't fall. Oh, good gather in defence there. Roca does well for Brazil. Roca's pass was all right. Away goes Nunes. Nunes, Brazil lead by 7 points. Nunes is going to go all the way and put up the 2-point shot. It's in for 2. Very smooth operator. Nunes has 19 points.
He has been consistent the whole game. We know what he was going to do. He's going to score. And I tell you what, you had 2 high pointers playing 2-on-1 basketball, and that is not what the Aussies want. But Justin Everson, good score.
27 points he's got, and the margin is 7. What's teasing is this game? It is. Get back in your chair. Why aren't you falling out?
Oh, God, leave it to them. But I notice on the side that we are getting ready for Brad Ness, and a few of the other boys are starting to come back on.
Brazil, you'd have to say they deserve where they are at the stage. They've held all the cards.
Absolutely.
All the cards, but that doesn't mean diddly squat if you lose the game.
No, it doesn't.
Nunes, with 3 seconds left on the shot clock, he makes it 2. Brilliantly done by Nunes, 21 points. And it's back now to a 9-point ball game.
They deserve to be in front, unfortunately. He's playing so well, Nunes. He is just hitting everything he's putting up and playing great basketball.
And a flick off the fingers for Australia will mean a turnover, as Everson couldn't hold the ball. And if you look at those 2 players for Brazil, particularly Eric Silva in the first half with 20 points, but Iria Nunes, 21 points, and Eric De Silva, 22. Sachs goes off.
And the man we need is Justin Norris, who can take some control and really get some leadership on the defence.
Margin is 9 points.
That would have been a violation, ref, in my book. But anyway, the play continues.
And Nunes, who's been the spark in this last term with 6 last quarter baskets. Up goes the shot. Not quite. For Australia, there's a board and away we go. That's Harnett to Everson. Everson takes it over halfway. He's going to try and go all the way. He will. All the way! 29 points, Justin Everson. 63 plays 56. The margin is back to 7. How good has his game been?
Well, I tell you what, 29 points. If we win this game, I tell you what, there's a fair whack of his hands all over the victory. But and you see there, Brad Ness, great pick, and also Justin Norris. What they do in wheelchair basketball is you're able to block your defender so that Justin could go to the basket with no one on him, and that's exactly what he did. And I tell you what, for us to win this game, I reckon Justin Everson needs to break 35 points, and Sean Norris needs to get a couple as well.
Now, straps just being sorted out now so that all players are okay. And we see the guarding being done by Dowler, who in no way is going to let Roca get clear. 7 minutes to go.
Aussies playing a full court press.
Trying to turn the ball over. Here's a quiet Eric Silva, who in the second half hasn't been as spectacular, but still most productive with 22 points. Pass was all right. Shot wasn't good. The height is there under the basket. Not this time. There's a good grab for Australia. Good grab by Everson. Everson takes it away. Pass is wide to Captain Ness. Ness.
Sure, Norris on his own.
Here's a chance for Norris underneath. No, there's a call against Australia.
That's an offensive... no, it's not. What happened was Brad Ness ran his wheelchair in, and what happened is the front of his wheelchair touched the court. That is a violation. If we watch here on replay, Brad will come in. It's a pretty ordinary call, just quietly as well. I didn't see his front wheels, his front touch the floor, but anyway, be that as it may.
7 points the margin, 6.5 to go. And it's Brazil leading. Here's Nunes. Nunes outside the three-point line, and there's a poor pass. There's a holding foul, surely.
Yep.
Holding foul, and Sean Norris will be the recipient of the side ball for Australia.
Good pick up there. It was a holding foul. What you can do is put your foot plates into the other person's wheels, but if they get picked up, that's exactly what it is. It's a holding foul.
Mike Arnett passes inbound to Everson. Everson, he's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. It didn't fall. It's going to be bouncing away, and it's a loose ball. It'll be taken by Eric Da Silva. Da Silva for Brazil. Pass was all right. He's found his man, Alexandra double teamed. Where does he go? Holds traffic. Brazil lead by 7. They'd be thrilled with this margin. They just need to go basket for basket, and at the moment they hold the sway as Nunes again. 23 points. And he's entitled to show jubilation with that exclamation of way. I'm pretty happy about that.
I'll tell you what, he's leading from the front and is showing why he's one of the great players in the world. He's just hitting everything he's putting up, and that's fantastic.
It is for Brazil.
And Justin Everson is still in there. He's still trying to get some movement.
9 points the difference.
4 points on the shot clock. Mick Arnett. Mick.
Oh, he didn't make it. The groans are there.
It was a hard pass. Mick Arnett, who's a one-pointer. And just to explain, the pass there from Everson to Arnett was quite low, and unfortunately Mick Arnett is a one-pointer, and what that means is he's probably a paraplegic, whereas someone like Justin Everson is probably he's an amputee. He's more able-bodied, but on the court at any one point in time you have 5 players of varying disabilities who equal various points.
Timeout called here in the final term of this match between the Australian Rollers and Brazil, and with 5 minutes and 23 seconds remaining, Brazil 65, lead Australia 56. You've rated Irio Nunes as one of the best in the world?
Absolutely. That display there reinforced it. The reason that Brazil, and they're part of the Americas, they would have had to have qualified against people like America and Argentina, who are quite strong in the basketball, as well as Canada. So they've earned their place here, and he's certainly leading from the front. And you can see the passion. Look at the passion. And there's Don King in there too.
I was going to say, I wouldn't mind a mopful of hair like that. Is that for sale or what? Oh no, this Nunes, he's been very, very impressive. Very, very impressive indeed. And he's found the hole where necessary, and you can see he just fires himself up there, just whacks the fist into the other fist, and he knows there is a scent in the nostrils of this Brazilian camp, if you don't mind, of a real upset to start this campaign. A real upset to beat a side that's as well credentialed as Australia. I know that doesn't mean the end of any campaign. There's a lot of games to go, but this is a wonderful start if they can get across the line. It's
a fair speed hump if they do get beaten, but listen, I'm an optimist, and I reckon we've got 5 minutes 20 seconds to make back, what do we got, 9 points there.
Mick Optimist Morris, that's his second name is Optimist. I hope you're right. Let's just wait and see. Here comes Nunes. Shot clock under 5 seconds. Nunes has it. He's barreled them from anywhere. Is he going to have another crack? He is. Up it goes. Didn't go this time. It bounces out of court, and it'll be an Australian ball.
That's what we needed.
9 points the difference.
And you can see in the backcourt there, Sean Norris has got Eric Da Silva in the backcourt with Brad Ness. So what they're trying to establish is a 5-on-4 play, whereby we have one player out of the court that makes scoring a lot easier, and looks like it's being successful.
Everson.
We will see Brad Ness fire through the middle now.
And Norris is there. They're doing some solid screening as Everson loads up, and it didn't fall in. And there might have been some hands there. There's almost a grab from Everson. He's got it. He got it. And he puts it in.
And he's got it. And one to come.
Unbelievable performance there. Like a bloke who hadn't had a feed for a week and saw a morsel full of food there and grabbed it and wouldn't let it go.
The kangaroo come to life.
That is inspirational basketball.
That's why he has spent every moment of this game on the court. That is why also he's paid bucks to play in Europe, and why he's leading this team from the front. What did I say? 35 points. What's he up to
now? He's up to 31.
There you go. We need 35 from him. We might win this game.
He's got 32. Substitution, and we're going to see Nunes go off, and we're going to see the gorilla come on, the man mountain. How'd you like to pay for his grocery bill? Leonardo Miranda
I dare you to say that to him into his face.
No. I'd get a quick cab out of town, and if he did question me, I'd say, Nick Morris had something to say about you. Isn't he a big man, though?
He is a big boy. And the fact is, he can play basketball, too.
He can. So can the fellow we're just seeing going off, too. He's another one there. Oh, that's Lima. He wasn't the one that was Nunes, the one that I was thinking that.
But he's doing all the productive
stuff.
That's the thing. He's been on the court when they've been scoring.
Here's the man Mountain. Mirando. Now it's to Lima. Now it's back to Jose Ricardo Silva. Shot clock again ticks down. That's the key. Here's Lima. Lima there, 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Don't foul. Silva bombs. Silva misses. Australian ball. 6 points the difference. 4 minutes of play remaining. Here's Norris. He didn't make it. It didn't fall. It had a look. It had a bo peep and it fell out. And Brazil win the ball back and lead by 6. Good hands there for Australia by Ness, almost affecting the turnover.
Off the court foul by Brendan Dowler on the big boy. Brendan being a 1 point and the big guy, number 13, he would be a 4.5 pointer. So the difference between those two players in physical would have been quite significant, but occasionally you have to stop them. But we're still in this game. We are so in this game. We just need a break.
3:57 to go.
They get a new shot clock, so it all starts again.
6 points the difference. Pass in. Everson does the guarding. Mirando has control of the ball. The gentle giant. Over the top. Australian ball. Flick wide. Here comes Everson. Can he lay it off the glass? Can he draw a foul? He can do neither. It's taken by his teammate there in Norris. Back out two. Here's a chance. Nets has got 2.
He's dropped it. New beauty. That's what we needed. We just need a break, a good stop, and then all of a sudden, Brad Ness and Justin Everson. And Australia calls time.
Timeout. 3 minutes, 35 seconds of play remaining. Brazil, 65. Lead Australia, 61. What a strange game. At half-time, Brazil in total control, and now just a little bit rattled, and Australia hurrying home. You just wonder now whether you'd like an extra 2 or 3 minutes on the clock, but it's not there. I don't know.
But the Aussies turn up the wick. They do it time and time again. I would have loved it to have been as simple as another game, but, you know, at the end of the day, you've got to deal with what you've got. So we're 4 points down. We're 3.5 minutes to go. We've got Justin on court. He's playing well. Sean Norris is playing well. We've got Brad Ness, who I don't think's had a great 3 quarters, he can win a game on his own any time as well. So all in all, we've got the guns to go to the fight.
I, along with a lot of people in Australia who really only follow the Paralympics, and I put my hand up to say that the interest there as the campaign comes around is more enriched. Troy Sachs, there's 3 fouls. He's your best player, or he's one of the best players. Surely he's got to be on court now.
Yes and no. What happens is, we were talking before about points. And
yes.
5 players with 14 points. What happens is you get teams that gel. And we've got on court a team that is working together, that are communicating well, so you let it ride. We're 4 points down. We're 3.5 minutes to go, and let's just hold on to our hats.
Hats are being held. ABC caps. Look out. Nunes from backcourt.
We've got a full court press on by the Aussies, so they're backing themselves to get a turnover.
Oh, there's a push. Flying through the air was Everaldo Lima.
And next time you see someone in a wheelchair and you feel sorry for him, go and have a look at Brad Ness and see if you feel sorry for him.
Now, inbound ball from Lima. Brazil by 4 points, 3 minutes 20 to go. That's an eternity in basketball. Nunes with control. Nunes, a bit of fancy work. Nunes on the left hand. Now back to the right hand. Nunes! Oh!
Do you reckon he can play?
Spectacular. He's got quarter of a century. 25 points.
You'd have him in your team. There's no doubt about that. He is playing a ripper game.
Australia a chance now at the opposite end. 2 points. And that was from the skipper Ness. He's got 5. And the Australians now putting the press on. They try to exert something extra and to try and get a turnover. They can't quite affect it. 4 points the difference. 2:47 to go. They can. Here's Everson. Here's Norris. Has control of the ball. Norris for Australia. Plenty of time on the clock. Oh, pokes the pass over. Everson's got it. He won't miss. He doesn't.
Sean Norris, Justin Everson combining the two boys from WA. I tell you what, they know how to play the game, and the scoreboard reflects it with their scores.
2 points the difference. 2:24 to go. This is the first game.
Well,
about 55 to go. Here's a chance. Oh, it's a holding foul. That's unsportsmanlike. And that is shots and a side ball. That is shots and a side ball.
We don't need it at this point in time. We are 2 points down with 2 minutes 19 remaining. I would have thought that was centre court, but see, Justin, he's reaching. He didn't need to do it. He didn't need to do it. That's when you've got to trust your teammates that they're going to back you up. But at the end of the day, we're getting desperate. We need this to 2 points down, Walshy.
Tight. Still 2 points down. A shot there from Nunes, who's got 25 points, misses. This shot and a side ball to Brazil. He gets the second, so that's 26 points. And the margin is 3. And it's a side ball to Brazil with 2 minutes and 19 seconds of play remaining. Brought in by Everaldo Lima. Takes his time. The referee now hands in the ball. Nunes back towards Lima. The Australians down by 3 points. 2 minutes, 10 seconds of play remaining. Lima still got it. Still has control of it. Lima, shot clock. All right, still 12 seconds left. And there's a foul. A foul against Brendan Dowler. And who better to get the opportunity for a couple than Eric Silva, who will wheel into the stripe.
We just got to pick the people we're going to chop at. And we hope that what happens here is he either misses one or both of these shots and we can get a turnaround down the other end. It is 3 points down, 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go, and we have probably, I would suggest there are 4 people out on the Australian court who can hit a three-pointer as needed.
He's made the first. Crowd on the edge of their seats. Margin 4 points. This for 5. It's still 4. Australia get a rebound. Nest got it delivered by Norris.
And we have one out the back court as well, so we've done our job.
Passes on for Everson. Everson cannot make it. Goes back in for a second effort. He can't. DeVos can't either. Everson tries again. Will he miss? No, he doesn't. 36 points. And the margin is 2 with 1:49 remaining.
Right out, come on, let's get a stop. They're playing a full court press, the Australians, and they are trying to get a turnover. And that was Brad Ness. What happened there was he actually wheeled backwards. In defence, that is illegal. You cannot wheel backwards to try and stop someone defending. You must always push forwards.
So because of 5 team fouls.
And the man at the line, we know about him. He can play.
Iria Nunes. 2 points the difference. 1:47 to go. Nunes.
Did I just see him miss that? Did I really see him miss that? He has been a superstar tonight, but we're still in this. This is 2 points down.
Australian crowd anxious. Australian team just as anxious as he gets the second, so he's got 27 points, but importantly, that's a 3-point ball game. We haven't seen hardly any threes at all. We've seen 2 for the whole game, both from Brazil. 3 points the difference. Australia with the ball. It's off to Everson. Everson, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Guarded closely. Puts it up to Alcott. Alcott's going to put the shot up, and it didn't fall in.
Bad luck.
1:27 to go, and Nunes takes it. Now it's tipped out of court. No, it's not. No, premature. Pestello has it now. Off towards Lima. Lima will run the clock down. 1:30 to go, and we have a 3-point ball game. Australia must get a stop. Nunes now works through some space. Has control of the ball. Eyes for the clock. The shot is up and didn't fall. Here comes the Australian skipper, Ness. He got it off towards Everson. Everson's cleaned up.
Oh, drop. No, it didn't.
58 seconds of play remaining. And was Everson asking about whether or not that was unsportsmanlike or what?
And I'll tell you what, I would have half put it on, but look, at the end of the day, the difference between that and an unsportsmanlike foul is his hands did not reach in and he didn't grab part of his body. It was a chair foul, which means that the wheelchairs just grated against each other, which is just a straight out foul. There is a little bit of conjecture, but we are
shot surely was going in for shots.
Sure, he got the shot away. We were hoping it went down.
58 seconds of play remaining. Brazil 70, Australia 67. Everson's got 36 points. Australia hasn't led for the duration of the game. They're now within 2 points. 37 individual points. But the score is 70 to 68, to the difference. Justin Everson, star of the game. Misses it, a chance for Australia, the level of scores. Ness missed it. He's got another chance. He goes over the top. Scores a level. Scores a level. Everson has 39 points. We're under a minute to go. Nunes takes the ball from Brazil. Can he hang on to it? Can the Australians stop him? No fouls.
Offensive foul.
Here's a chance now for Brazil. It's gone to Silva. Scores a level. Silva bombs away, misses.
And
is there a foul? And that foul was outside the three-point line, and you get 3 shots.
He gets 3 shots.
He was miles away, and it's Eric Silva who gets 3 shots, scores a level. There's still 37 seconds left. 3 shots. This is number 1. And that is the lead to Brazil. 24 to Eric Silva. 71-70. There is still time. He's got to miss one of these. And that's a big one.
And for those of you who know a bit about basketball, there's 24 seconds on the shot clock and 37 seconds on the game clock. So there is time.
Miss this, we're a real chance. He hasn't. We still are. There'll be a timeout call.
We have a full 24 seconds to make a play.
The score here at the National Indoor Stadium. Men's wheelchair basketball, Australia 70, trail Brazil 72, timeout called. What's the plan of attack?
The plan of attack is, with his offensive move now, we've got 24 seconds to run a patience play. We want to get someone free who can roll into the basket and do a layup. We do not want a 15-foot shot. We don't want a 3-point shot because there is still time. We want to make sure that at a minimum, scores are level when the buzzer goes.
In overtime?
Absolutely, you get another chance.
There's nothing wrong with overtime.
No way, and I'll tell you what, with our fitness, experience and depth, I put our money on it.
And surely, and I know I'm changing my tune completely, I've dragged the fiddle out now and put the violin away. The Australians now in a position with 37 seconds to set the play, to know who to go to, what to go to, and to eat as much time up as possible just to make sure that the shot goes in and not to give Brazil too much of a chance to get it out of the other end and score.
I'll tell you what, this actually has worked in our favour. Even though we're 2 points down, you're spot on. We get a chance to orchestrate the play. The ball's in our court, only we can do it wrong.
Brazil 72, Australia 70. 37 seconds of play remaining.
Justin Everson and Sean Norris, that's who we want the ball in their hand.
Clock starts now. Everson has it. Brazil by 2 points. 30 seconds of play remaining. The ball is over to Norris. Norris, the Australian forwards are guarded. Shot clock is 15 seconds. Ness thinks about it, and there's a foul. There's a foul. So it's Australia. Now let's have a look. Now that's the 4th team foul, but Ness was actually preparing to shoot, so he will go to the line.
Position.
So now the whole game changes completely. If he gets 2, all of a sudden Brazil have the ball and they've still got 24 seconds.
They do. They can actually run a play right to the end of the buzzer, although I have seen a game won in 0.5 of a second. That's how much we will have left if they run the full 24 seconds.
As is normally the case at this time of a basketball game, timeouts are plentiful where required, and the timeout tells you Brazil 72, Australia 70. And what I can picture in my mind is the first one will go in, the second one will be rebounded by an Australian who will follow it up and pop it in for 2 and thank him up for the Rabbits.
See, now I'm going to have to start calling you Mr. Optimist. We've got Ben Attridge, he's certainly laying down to the troops now. He's trying to explain what play they want. The Chinese, they don't matter who's playing. I'll tell you what, who said the Chinese were boring? Look at that, we've got some all sorts of hats. But the Brazilians, they can win this game. They have put themselves in the position. I hope we take it out of their hands and take control and win.
The Australians roll back on court. It's been catch-up basketball for the whole night. At quarter time down by 12, at half-time down by 17. Three-quarter time back to a very gettable 5. And this is Brad Ness. Come on, Brad. Let's see what you've got, big fella. He's got 1.
That's the boy from WA who lives in Italy, married to an Italian girl, and but make no mistake, he is an Aussie through and through, and he's showing it now.
Misses with the second, the Australians, thought they might get a rebound, they didn't. And now here's the chance on the run, the opportunity there for Pessoa. Pessoa puts a shot up and misses. Australia had the chance. It's Brazil by 1 point. Australia with 13 seconds remaining. They must score, they must score. Norris there for Australia, goes over the top. Here he goes, here comes Everson. Can this? Yes! Yes! Seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Australia win!
You beauty! Woohoo! That's called Paralympic basketball at its best, Mr. Walsh. Woohoo!
Sometimes when you watch a game of basketball, you say to yourself, we can't win this one, and I'll give it a tip. I plead guilty. I thought Brazil were the best team, but the scoreboard says Australia is the best team tonight. The Australian Rollers, in an absolute ball terror, have beaten Brazil 73-72. Everson 39 points, Norris 16 for Brazil. Nunes 27 and Eric Silva 25. Quick thoughts from Nick Morris on a thrilling game of basketball with Australia winning by 1 point.
Take a moment. I thought 35 points from Justin Everson would have won us the game. No, not enough. He had to hit 39 points to win us the game. Shawnee Norris had to hit 16, but that's what good teams do. They somehow manufacture a win.
Spare a thought for Brazil. Nothing patronising in this comment.
Absolutely.
They were outstanding in the first half, and they were the better side for most of the game. But in the finish, when you look at the scoreboard, they didn't win.
They didn't win, but you know what this is an advertisement for? This is an advertisement for fair dinkum, red-hot Aussie sport, international sport that's got elite athletes who are playing to win, and lo and behold, with 5 seconds to go, we've seen the Aussies win by a point.
Nick Morris will hear plenty of your voice throughout our coverage of the basketball, the men's wheelchair basketball. A result by way of the Australian Rollers, 73, defeating Brazil 72, and that might be the best game of basketball that we see at the Paralympic Games. It'll take something pretty special to beat it. Australia win by 1 point at the basketball.